Recently, everyone is talking about how amazing is AI, how it transforms our lives, and how it can even generate software for us. If you've tried solutions like Bolt.new or WindSurf, you might have seen what's really possible. Even though it is mind-blowing on the first place, it's still far from a finished product. So in today's video, I'm going to explain how you can leverage AI for tasks that are easy enough. And finally, we will see what type of tasks that you can perform as a non-technical person yourself, and what are the other tasks that requires a technical human touch. Hi, I'm Amaury, founder and CEO at MyCTO, where founders come to learn how to build their tech startup. And with this Startup Snack series available on both podcast and YouTube, we want to share the essential to make it easier for you to build your tech startup. And if you've watched some of my past videos, you might have seen that AI is making a lot of mistakes when it comes to generate software. And there is a good reason for that. It's the amount of tokens that are available for a specific task. The amount of token limits, by definition, the context of the AI-driven decisions. So if you ask the AI to identify among a few apps template, which one fits the most to your idea, and if you ask the AI to customize few pictures or baseline, then it won't take that much token and the result will be pretty amazing. And that's basically what Bolt.new does. They have built an amazing set of app templates with small components that are easy enough to understand, and then the AI can customize them. But if you want to develop the entire software from scratch, that's another story. It works and it's totally possible. I've done it on this video, creating a mobile application from scratch using only prompts. But it took me some time, and still a bit of tech knowledge was required during that process. So if you have a tech project in mind, the first thing to do is to ensure that you prepare as many useful information for the AI, so that you reduce the amount of token required to understand the context. Therefore, it can use as much content and as much token left as possible to actually create the code. More token left you have on your request, better the output will be. So let's follow what's already working with Bolt, for instance. Basically, they use two pillars. They use an app template like Bolt does, and they have a clear and precise pre-prompt to define the development rules. Basically, what's allowed and what is not. And these two pillars allow to reduce the amount of bugs generated by the AI. So now if you are serious about launching a real startup project, let's be frank, this won't be enough. You will also need to understand and set up few key concepts, as well as to understand what's reasonable to delegate to AI and what it is not. So to review that list, let's see what are the AI-driven development requirements. So we already covered the proper boilerplate as well as the pre-prompt. And by the way, I shared mine in a recent video. I can put the link in the comment section below. 2, you need to create what we call a Git repository to store the application versions. Most of the time we talk about a GitHub account so that you can share the source code with real development team as well as with several AI development environment, Next, you also need what we call an IDE, basically Integrated Development Environment. It is a software to create software. So Bolt is one, WindSurf, Visual Studio is one of the most known one in the area. That's basically the type of software real developers use. Next, you will need what we call CI/CD, Continuous Integration, Continuous Deployment. This is the capacity to publish an updated version of your application with one click. So with some softwares like Bolt.new, it comes along, it's included. But with some other software like WindSurf or any real coding environment, usually you don't have the CI/CD, and that's something that needs to be created. And last, to be very effective in an AI-driven development environment, you also need to be sure to select the proper library, the proper tech stack, basically technologies and languages that are adapted to your project, because not all projects are equals. And last but not least, after playing several months with AI development, I can confirm that as of today, you still need a little bit of human touch, some real humans, developers that can review what is produced by the AI. And that's a fact. We need to make the most out of both technical people and AI. And that's why I want to move forward with the tasks that are required and that you need to perform by yourself when it is possible, and the one that you can delegate to a technical person. These are the classical tasks required for any software project. And good for you, the first steps are doable by a non-technical person. Writing the project specifications, it's absolutely doable. I do recommend you to use ChatGPT for that, and you can definitely write everything about and brainstorm about your idea concept, because ChatGPT is pretty good as well to help you come up with new ideas. And by the way, think about asking ChatGPT, okay, why my project would not work? Or do you think my client will not use my product? And if that's the case, why they would not want to use my product? Try to ask ChatGPT to really challenge your concept. It will help you a lot. The second thing that you can do with AI is to design your application. You have Figma.ai. There are also tools like UX Pilot or User.io as well that allow you to create out of a prompt beautiful design for a mobile application as well as for a web interface. That's great. I highly recommend you to use them so that after you can feed the AI development. Third, you can absolutely develop the interface using AI. For that, I do recommend you to use pre-prompt, being sure that you use a proper design system that a real developer can actually reuse. Just jumping headfirst on Bolt.new won't be enough, and you really need to sync with the developer that is going to take the output of that phase. And these are basically the tasks that you can learn to do as a non-technical person. And now, on the other hand, there are also tasks that are too technical for the AI to manage 100% of these steps, basically. Like creating backend functions can be very technical, especially if you want to connect to external API like OpenAI, etc. Structuring the database of your software, definitely AI can help, but it's still quite technical, and it's good to have a technical person that overlook on that process. Good news, all the tests can be done by you, of course. No need to be very technical to test and check if there are some bugs or not. But the debugging phase, most of the time, it's good to have someone pretty technical, because sometimes the bugs is very easy to solve and the AI can loop back and forth on the same bug for like a while. And it definitely helps to have some technical background for that phase as well. So in the end, you might wonder, does AI really add some values? Yes, of course. Quite a lot, in fact. If you analyze the cost of a startup project compared to what we've been able to do just 6 months ago, there is a huge gap. When it comes to writing the project specifications, like you can save 80%. Designing the app or the UI, UX, 90% can be saved in terms of human costs. Developing the interface using AI, you will need your developer to review what is produced by the software, but still you can save 60% of what has been produced by and what basically you would have spent on human development. And don't forget, it is not because you are not able to develop backend functions that you are not making some savings on it. If you choose the proper developer, he will be able to use AI to save some energy and time during the process, and saving up to 30% during that phase. Same thing for the database. For testing the software, as of now, it's not really mature, and we do not really save time. And when it comes to debug, yes, definitely AI help, but it's really better to let the developer debug the software for you. And still 30% can be saved on that phase as well. So altogether, it is a game changer for software development. We can save 2x, 3x, and sometimes even more for small projects. So I do agree that we all dream of the fully independent and perfect AI developer which never produce bugs. But it is not for now yet. But still, you can save so much time and money using these tools and working hand in hand with people who masters these technologies. So if you are launching a startup project, ensure that you are working with AI-driven development team, people who believe in the added value of AI, people that are willing to challenge themselves to make the most out of it. Nowadays, a lot of developers are currently freaking out and pushing down AI development, but it is the future. It is the natural evolution of the tech world. And I do believe that in 1 or 2 decades, developer won't be the big thing that it is today. The future will belong to people who create value for other people, leveraging existing technologies to solve humans' problems. And maybe in 20 or 30 years, developing a software will be as easy as creating a Word document, maybe even sooner. That's actually my point of view, that's actually my vision, that's the direction that we are heading towards. So in the meantime, if you want to build something useful for a specific market, then do it before someone else does. And for that, of course, I'm around, happy to work with you if you want to make that project a reality. And I also have some developers that I personally train to follow that trend and reduce the development cost at their maximum. Happy to connect if you are interested. As usual, the link of the contact is in the description below. And of course, I hope this episode was helpful for you. Let us know if you have any questions, comments, or topics that you would like us to cover in our next video. Until then, bye for now. Have a good day.